Jeremiyah Love, Notre Dame running back, is one of the most electric players that you're going to find in this class. Every year we do this. When one of the better players in the class is a running back, we have the discussion, how high are we picking him? Better yet, how does he compare to other guys that have been drafted high? Ezekiel Elliott, Leonard Fournette, Christian McCaffrey, and most recently Ashton Jeanty. Where do you see, Ryan, Jeremiyah Love fitting? How high should he be picked?
In this class, he should not get out of the top 10. Like, he just shouldn't. It's so funny. We went from the most divisive conversations to the easiest conversation in the entire draft. I've yet to see a single person, really, that has a negative thing to say about Jeremiyah Love. Because Jeremiyah Love is 6 foot, going to be about 215 pounds. He's going to run incredibly fast. Was a 10.5, 10.600 meter guy coming out of Christian Brothers in the city of St. Louis. This is an incredibly explosive athlete who can also catch the football, who, by the way, Joe, is a really good pass blocker for a running back as well. Like, he does everything at a very high level, and he's improved his power profile throughout the last couple years at Notre Dame. This is a player that in a class that does not have all right, let me rephrase it. In a class that has two quarterbacks that are probably going to get drafted pretty high, has questions at offensive tackle, has questions at edge, this is a player that even if he doesn't play a high priority position, should get drafted higher, because the high priority positions are the weakest parts of this class in 2026.
I think that in this class, as you just talked about here, where there's not a lot of really franchise-altering prospects that you're going to get, it's going to be mostly solid starters. Teams with the right cores that have, and by the way, this is kind of the biggest part with all this. I hated Ashton Jeanty going to the Raiders because they had so many more problems that needed to be addressed. Putting a running back into that needs everything around him to work well, he's a really damn good player, but expecting him to solve your issues is just wrong. It's just a bad philosophy. I want to see Jeremiyah Love on a team that does have a solid offensive line, does have their quarterback futures figured out, does have receivers and an overall plan for the future. I really love the idea, by the way, of the Washington Commanders taking Jeremiyah Love. I think that him next to Jaden Daniels with all those solid weapons, Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel at receiver, there is an opportunity to take that offense to an even higher level than the one it was at in Jaden Daniels' rookie season when he was healthy. I also need somebody to take some of the hits off of Jaden Daniels as a runner. Add another threat, man. Free things up for Jaden Daniels. But the biggest thing here with Jeremiyah Love that makes him special, he has some of the craziest acceleration that you were going to see from a running back. I'm very curious to see what his 40 time is. It's going to be very quick, but where he is such a separator for his build and the physical manner in which he is willing to play, the burst and pickup when he finds a gap is nuts, but also off of his cuts and when he's got that nutty spin move that Jeremiyah Love plays with. The way that he accelerates out of that is also crazy. This is a guy who, right spot, is a 1,500-plus yard running back in the NFL every single season when healthy. He's that good of a player.
Nah, dude, because to your point, it's not just the straight line acceleration, because the long speed is very good. The acceleration is very good. He makes guys miss in tight spaces really, really well, man. Like, his change of direction is pretty crazy. To the Washington Commanders conversation for 1 second, Joe, you know what a Commanders fan will say if they see Jeremiyah Love mocked to them at pick like 6 or whatever it is, though, right? You know what they're going to say.
What?
They've like the 32nd ranked defense in the NFL, so like we don't need a running back on the top 10. That's what they're going to say. That's what they're going to say. So they're going to say. But hey, man, I think that this is the reason though why a lot of people hate this class, right? And again, I don't think it's a good class at the top. I'm talking about specifically, but they don't like this class, Joe, because the couple of guys that are bordering on blue chip are play positions that are perceived to be less important, and that includes Jeremiyah Love playing the running back position. So I agree 100%. This is not going to be much of a heated debate here. I think that Jeremiyah Love is a player that should contend for top 10 consideration in the 2026 NFL Draft. He's special. He is, I don't know if it's a hot take. I think he's a better prospect than Ashton Jeanty. Is that a hot take?
I do too. That's what becomes so crazy with this is you don't even see the same level of push behind Jeremiyah Love to be a top 5 pick. Maybe that'll change as the process starts to build up more and more and people in franchises fall in love with him, coaching staffs fall in love with him. I feel like that there is a separation. Not a
just
gigantic one,
right? It's like athletically is where the separation
he's
is.
Bigger. He's more physical.
And
He has another layer. Yeah, he's got another layer to his game. What was dangerous about Genty is that he beats you in a phone booth with his feet and his burst as well. But you're able to get some like really hard-nosed runs out of Jeremiyah Love. He can do both things. He's not a 230-pound back, but he can do both things.
And it was no shot at Ashton Genty. For anybody that has watched this over the years, I loved Ashton Genty as a prospect. I loved him as a football player.
Yeah.
I just think there's a separation of athlete. Like the more interesting conversation, and maybe we'll do this for another video down the road, is Bijan Robinson versus Jeremiyah Love. Like that's a more interesting one because both of those guys excel because they are fantastic athletes for the position. You know what I mean? So that's probably a deeper conversation for the future. But yeah, I think Jeremiyah Love is a special prospect without question.
Yeah, Jeremiyah Love's a little bit bigger, but kind of similar in the regard where Bijan and Jeremiyah Love both are able to win with their burst, their speed, but they're also willing to get physical. They've got a physicality and aggressiveness when needed to their play style. And they're also dynamic with the ball in their hands in space as receivers. I think that it's not a comparison, but a direction for where he gets picked, how high he gets picked, all of those things kind of fall in line with Bijan going in the top 10. And it should be I feel like if the Commanders maybe don't take him, it almost seems like somebody might be willing to trade up and move into the top 10 to go get Jeremiyah Love because the rest of the options are solid. They're not Jeremiyah Love, though. They're not.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation of potentially trading up for a running back. You don't see that ever, right? So like that doesn't really happen.
Didn't it almost happen last year with Genty? Am I crazy?
I think there was some chat. I think there was some chatter there. But I was also going to say last year we saw a massive trade up for a wide receiver / corner, right? So like there are exceptions to the rule. You know what I mean? So in a class where I think most people would surmise that if Jeremiyah Love isn't the best player in the draft, he's a top 3-ish player in the draft without positional value kicked into it. So in that instance, would you be willing to trade up for him? It's a fascinating conversation to have.